Oh yeah, you know what that sound is. You ain't heard that sound in about 2 weeks. It's time to get back to some HamShack TV Live. Running a little late tonight. We will be with you here in just a minute. Gonna let the theme song play out one time, and then we'll jump to it. So stick around, share it out, get as many people watching as you possibly can. HamShack TV Live. We'll see you in a minute. If you're just joining, good evening. We'll get started here in just a minute. Yeah, let's go. Let's light this candle, shall we? I forgot to take that down. Boy, it's been a minute since I've done this. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Tank. No, it's not. I've been listening to the wrong show. What's up, everybody? Been a while. It's been a while. Glad to be back doing HamShack TV Live. Taking the last 2 weeks off. We've been just kind of trying to recharge our batteries a little bit and do some planning and different things. And you know what? It's August, y'all. And you know what that means? It's Huntsville Hamfest month. So huge month of content coming up, huge events coming up. We're going to be covering the Huntsville Hamfest from Huntsville. Got a lot of cool things in the works for Huntsville Hamfest week, so stick around for that. Tonight's episode is brought to you by one of my favorite places in Huntsville, and that's Gigaparts. Folks, cannot say enough about Gigaparts. We are talking with Gigaparts about live streaming HamShack TV Live the Thursday before the Hamfest at Gigaparts. So if you're coming to Huntsville and you're going to be there on Thursday, come check us out. I'll have more details on that as we get closer to the Hamfest. But, you know, meanwhile, maybe you're not going to Huntsville for the Hamfest, and that's fine. You can still shop at Gigaparts. Gigaparts.com. You can use coupon code HamShackTV. That'll give you double rewards points. Or if you use coupon code HamShackTV50, you'll get half off your first month of Gigaparts Rewards Plus. That gives you a perpetual warranty, 60-day return window, 4 times rewards points, and malware bites, antivirus. So, guys, check out Gigaparts. Let them know that I sent you by using those coupon codes. And we appreciate their support of HamShack TV. We got a lot to talk about here tonight. I do want to note that the reason we were a little late coming on air is if you listen to the World Radio League show, you know that StreamYard has been having some bugs. and those bugs have stricken HamShackTV today. So we're dealing with some problems. So what's going to happen tonight is, unfortunately, we will only be able to unmute one mic at a time. Otherwise, you guys are going to get a ridiculous echo, so we are not doing that. It is a bug within StreamYard, and I believe they've been notified of it, if I've heard Andy correctly. So we apologize for that, but we got a lot to talk about. We're going to bring in the panelists here and get started here. Here's Hillbilly Dave, if I can hit the right buttons. We got Marvin, and we got who's not muted. Somebody's not muted and didn't follow the plan. That would be Marvin. But that's all right. So, and Tortoise Overland in the house as well. We are simulcasting over on the Tortoise Overland channel, so appreciate all of them. Super chats, channel donations are available tonight as always, and it is a new month, so there are new bars to set. Little as $1 will get you on the ticker down below and set the record for the month. So let's get started strong and all that good stuff, and you can help me out as we get ready to head to Huntsville here in a couple of weeks. So we will do since we can't all talk at one time, we'll go ahead and do a quick around the horn here and see what's up with everybody. So Marvin, you're next to me. Let's start with you. What do you got going on right now? Check you on. You're muted up somehow.
All right.
There you are.
There I am. Sorry about that. I muted on my side on the mixer. I didn't mute on the StreamYard side. So been an extremely busy week going on. I'm supposed to have a podcast out last Monday, but we'll have something we'll talk about a little bit later, potentially. And I've been working on, spent a lot of hours on. Then I updated my webpage, so go to w0met.com, and now the website is completely updated. You can also go to the hamradioguide.com and figure that out. But that's been my work in progress with stuff. I've got a video that I just need to pretty much get it uploaded. It's done and ready to go. So it's been a stupid busy week on the computer with me and good stuff, but it's all really good, and I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to a good conversation tonight talking about AI and ham radio, and we'll come back with a short monologue in just a few minutes on that. Back to you, Josh.
Outstanding. I hate that we all have to be muted. It makes it not so much fun, and a lot of work on my side. But Pota Power's in the house. Good to see Pota Power. We will see you all in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to that. And Levi is also here, K8KAZ. You know where the link is, Levi. Feel free to join. So anyway, that's a look at the chat. Let's go down to Hillbilly Dave. See what's up with Hillbilly Dave. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. What's going on? Finally got the fourth video out in the ATOS series. I'm going to be doing some more testing on it, though, because couldn't get 40 to tune. I did get 30 to tune with it. But I talked to a buddy of mine, and he's got a friend that's had the same problem, and he's done everything grounding.
That's right. We'll see what happens.
Wait a second. Marvin, unmute.
Hey.
Oh, there it is.
Came back. It's back.
All right, give me a moment.
I wonder if it's his mixer.
Maybe. I don't know, but it's been happening with World Radio League too. So
it's StreamYard, because not only did it happen with World Radio League, Ham Radio Venture guy, James, he's in. Him and Dan were doing a stream last night. They were fine. They brought a third guest in, and all of a sudden everything started echoing. When their guest dropped out, they couldn't get it to work again.
And it's also been giving me that error too. The device is not connected. I literally had to. I actually on Friday night when we did Wounded Warriors, Weekend Warriors. I said, you know what? I'm going to try this. So everybody just said, well, let's just for grins and giggles. I did a synopsis. I told ChatGPT, I said, do a synopsis on me. You know, just pull from what you know. You know, I've been using it pretty heavy for the last year, and the last 6 really heavy, especially with the new job, building training and stuff. Hey, that's cool. And out. That was interesting. So yeah, I've been using it a lot with radio, and with work. It's crazy. And man, it gave me goosebumps and made my little heart squishy inside when it said I was an awesome person.
You are an awesome person.
Yeah, it wrote a long synopsis. I was like, holy crap! So I passed it over to Tracy, and she was like, yay, that's so cool.
Well, cool.
Other than that, nothing else going on.
Well, awesome. Awesome. Before we get to talking about AI, I hear a weak echo somewhere. I think you're not wearing cans, Michael. I think it's your speaker on your computer. But anyway, Marvin has been a busy little bee. He has taken on a, look at him grin down there. He's turning red. So if you missed the announcement a couple of days ago, I have launched HamShack Radio. No, we're not talking about single sideband or something like that, but it's a 24/7 live streaming radio, internet radio station, and beta test. Otherwise, if you're not in my Discord, send me an email at the email on your screen, Josh at aa4wx.com. I'll get you an invite out to do that. Marvin, you want to talk a little bit about the project so far there?
Yeah, so it's been, like he said, it's been a lot of work. Josh kind of texted me last week and called me and said, we need a better player for this FM, or for this online radio station. And it's like, okay. And I said, he said, what do you know about building that? I said, well, enough to be dangerous, to be able to figure this out. And I thought, well, I know a little bit about Apple Swift and some Xcode and a few things like that. I've kind of tried to play with a little bit in the past, but I said, let's see what I can pull out and what we can do. So oddly enough, I was able to pull something out and put something together in about 3 hours, I suppose. And I texted Josh a picture of that or whatever and showed him, like, well, that's pretty damn impressive. Looks pretty good. So anyway, then a couple more hours later, tried a little bit more. And then we got into Tuesday night and, had something playing. And he says, well, how about adding this? So we've got a couple things that we're trying to add, and there's some changes and some things that need to be fixed. And, we put like some propagation stuff in there, but I'm not sure that's all 100% working yet, but we're going to get there. I'll figure it out. And I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be cool. We did it with iOS first because that's the little bit of what I knew. But we do plan on rolling out an Android somewhere down the road as well. So I don't think it will be. Back to you, Josh.
Yeah, I'm here. My All-Star started going crazy. By the way, my All-Star's fixed. Look for a video coming out tomorrow about that All-Star fix. Really groundbreaking stuff with a buddy of mine who's a software engineer, and then also had Jason and Freddie Mac on the show. So that'll be coming out tomorrow night. Nevertheless, that's not related. Yes, Marvin, I appreciate all the work on it. I think the community's going to appreciate all the work on it. This is something new. Crash Course doesn't have this. Jason doesn't have this. Mike doesn't have this. This is something brand new. So I'm really looking forward to rolling this out. And I see in the comments of, Hillbilly Dave itself, just don't forget about us Android users. I promise the Android will come.
Who are we supposed to forget about?
You're right. How about
you want to be Apple users?
How about the old Windows phone? Anybody got a Windows phone or a Crackberry or something? We can look at a Crackberry app maybe. Anyway, yes, if you are interested in beta testing the Apple version, again, you have to be running iOS 26 or newer. Send me an email or send me a Discord DM, and we'll get you on there. And please do it in a hurry, because I'd like to get more beta testers. The sooner the better. We're really kind of looking for 10 beta testers. Right now we're at 7, so if we can get a few more, that would be nice, and we can go ahead and proceed on getting that sent over to. I'm gonna have to take away his fun buttons up there. we'll be able to, once we get enough data, we'll be able to go ahead and send this over to Apple to approve it and put it in the Play Store. Again, it's going to be completely free, so we're excited about that. But I do want to make a plea again. This is going to be, or this is an incredibly expensive endeavor. So please, if you feel like becoming a channel member or want to donate channel memberships or do a super chat, that really, really helps us, because again, this is not cheap and not free. So appreciate all that. All right, enough shilling for money here. The topic. Go ahead, Marvin.
I was going to say, and the only reason we're pushing iOS 26 or like 0.2, 0.5, whatever it is because that's what Apple's pushing. If you still have iOS 18, I would just say go ahead and just upgrade. So it's going to be pushed to you anyway. At some point, you're going to be forced to go to it. But yeah, again, it was kind of limited to what I knew about iOS and developing apps, and then again, the version is not really. It's more forced by Apple than it does us. So, but I think this is going to be something that's very valuable to the community. And I think people will really appreciate it, and hopefully kind of be a tool in your pocket per se, and give you something to listen to in your work or on the drive and whatever. And again, there is scheduled times on the online radio station, but there's a lot of it's always new feeds coming in, so it's not going to be the constant same show you hear every you might hear the same show twice in the day potentially, but it is rotating, and it will switch out about every week here. So, just FYI. So it's all good.
That's a good point, Marvin, because all of the programming that we do have comes in once a week. So as they air, that's when I pull them and add them to the rotation. So right now, all the shows play 5 times a day at minimum. I think there's one that plays 6 times a day, and then the newscast they alternate. One newscast is ARRL Newsline or News, and the other one is AR Newsline, and those alternate every 2 hours. So you get a lot of opportunity, and we're trying to freshen it up. So I've got one more spot. Well, I can do as many spots as I got, but I got one more show that I'm going to try to get a syndication agreement on. Not going to mention what that is, but I'll be talking to him at Huntsville. I guarantee you that. All right, let's go down this AI route. There's a lot to talk about here. I know I already got some feedback when I announced this week's topic that did not take long at all. I literally posted it and it was there.
Yep.
But AI has no place in ham radio. First, let's start with that. Actually, Marvin, you said you wanted to preface this with something, so let me pass the mic back over to you.
We can all kind of remember when SDRs and digital modes, remote stations, were all kind of considered controversial, right? And I think this is just the new technology that's shaking up amateur radio, and it's AI. And there's a lot of operators using it to write code for PodaCat, Ether SDR. I'll be honest, we've used it for the HamShack app. There's, I'm sure Flex Radios could be potentially using it in some ways. We're using it to troubleshoot, radios and analyze propagations, and people are using it to help study for their license probably. And so, some people may say that we're really relying on this a little too much. But the whole discussion of tonight is as Josh said, some say has it, some say it has its place, some say it doesn't. But I really want to separate the hype from the reality and answer this one simple question: is artificial intelligence the next great tool for amateur radio, or is this just a shiny object that's going to come and pass? So, Josh, I want to have another question I want to start with first is, when you hear AI in amateur radio, what's the very first thing that comes to your mind? And is that a good thing or a bad thing? Dave, you're my first.
I think there's good and bad. It's a good tool. But at the same time, I think it could actually be something bad. Because some people are using AI and they're forgetting how to do things. But I do think it's a good tool. But I'm even starting to get a little leery of AI with everything that's going on here lately in the testing. So, but as long as it's used for a tool, I think it's great. But when people start using it to do everything, then my feeling is it's not only bad for ham radio, it's bad for everything.
Absolutely. That's a very good points. Hidden in the chat here, M3WER, Zeus SDR is 100% AI. I've never worked with that, so I don't know. I don't doubt it at all. Also says AI is just a tool for sure. And I think that's the healthy way of looking at it, or of thinking of AI, and what your motive should be is it's a tool. It shouldn't do the job for you. And then our buddy Levi says Grok AI has been the closest thing to an Elmer that he's had since becoming a ham. It has been great at answering questions and explaining topics. And I can concur. I don't use Grok. I use ChatGPT, and it's taught me a whole lot of stuff that I would have never been able to figure out elsewhere and otherwise. Let's go to Michael. What do you think?
Here we go. Well, I use AI with work. I've been, everybody's like, oh, try this one, try this one, try this one. I'm like, no, I like ChatGPT. Weird that I asked Chat while I was working with it to Arizona and gas mileage and just figuring out things. If you had a name, what would your name be? And it named itself. Its name is Rusty, and it's a he. So that was interesting. But I use it a lot, especially with preparing training at work. I've been doing a thing called Durham Academy because I work for Durham Communications. There's a shameless plug.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But I've been doing a lot with that. And it's helping me break things down. If I miss something, it says, hey, what about this? Or, hey, what about that? For at least what I use it for, it's very intuitive. I've been using it over, like I said, the last year. And the last 6 months or so, 6, 7, 8 months, actually, the last 8 months, I've been using it pretty hard almost every day. So, what?
You said 6, 7, 8.
No, I did not say 6, 7.
Yes,
Those
you
words
did.
did not leave my mouth,
You
sir.
totally did.
No, I didn't.
You said 6, 7, 8 months.
8 months. Oh, all right, smart ass. And Tracy says hello. She is flying above Lake Havasu right now. Lucky booger. That's awesome. But yeah, I love using it, but it's a tool. It's a tool that has it has its flaws. It has its problems. There has been been a few little things, but so far it's a tool and it works and it helps me. And that's all I want it for, is a tool. I don't want it taking over everything. I really don't, other than doing mechanical or electronic things, or even references. I don't see it holding a big place in amateur radio because it can't run the radio for you yet. I don't see it other than being used as a tool for designing, helping, etc. So it's just one of those things. I don't see it becoming a permanent fixture in amateur radio, other than references, helping, etc. It's a tool.
Don't call it a tool. No, wait, I got to save that for a second hour. Let's see
You're a
here.
tool.
Looking at the chat here, N3WER says ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, AI, Google, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot are all cool tools. Levi says different AIs for different purposes. That is very true. In my very limited experience, Grok is great at research and getting more technical answers. ChatGPT is great at image work, and Claude is a great assistant. I can tell you this. I can't legally go into great details, but I know that we've got a project at work, and they're using Claude to build on that. And I've seen the work that it's doing, and it is phenomenal stuff. Claude, I think Claude is very, very underrated. As a matter of fact, tomorrow when you see my video about the new All-Star dashboard that's been created, Claude wrote a lot of that. So really exciting stuff. Marvin, let's go back over to you.
Yeah, I was trying to pull something up real quick and I had to reset my password. Apparently forgot my.
Oh my God, it's not
password.
Oh, it is echoing. Never mind. I thought it quit.
Okay. Well, that was a dream come true. Hopefully, we wish. So, I've used ChatGPT quite a bit. I've not really gotten into Claude or Grok or some of those others. I know someone's also using a Debian AI. I have a friend who's pretty much made he's a ham radio operator. He made his own AI server in his own house. There's a lot of great apps that are being created and helping people who were not previous coders create some great apps like Podacat, Ether SDR. All right, guys, I'm going to screw up his name. I know Brett, KY5Y. Is it K5YVY?
K5YVY, Joe Brett.
So he created a propagation app using a lot of vibe coding. If you want to hear more about that one, that's very interesting. I think he did that interview with Kyle, AA0Z. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who, again, including myself, I told you HamShack has a little bit of a chat GPT code in there too to help me do that. There's a lot of things tools that sometimes things you just don't know that it will help you with. And that's where it's become a tool for me to be able to do that. Obviously we don't want it taking over a lot, but sometimes I'm looking for ideas and I will reach out to him and say, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Can you give me some more information maybe around that? And I think, again, SDRs and all these other things that we've kind of always been against them for a long time and thought they were evil or bad. And it's like, it doesn't have its place in ham radio. And now look how much we use for SDRs every day. How much we use for digital modes that, it's like people got into FT8 and didn't like FT8 initially. It's like, oh, this is going to be bad, but now how many people use it every day out there? So I think this is something it's here to stay. It's good to use. I think it can only help us. We don't want it to become too powerful or have it be too much involved. But that's got to be the limitation of the person using it and how they're using it. So I think that's a very, important factor in all of this overall. So I'm looking for an article, but I don't know if one thing that you guys have noticed that there's an article out there I'm trying to find. I'll find it in a few minutes or something. I know it. I have it in my stack of emails, but there's a new app out there also. It's called HamGPT. And that, give me a few minutes on that, Josh. You guys can talk amongst yourself. I'll be back into that count in just a second here. And we'll pull it up and kind of type in a couple questions and we'll do a little screen share and see how it works. And maybe if you guys have, it's Jason's fault, thank you, or Marvin's fault. If you have a couple questions you want me to ask in HamGPT, I'll show a couple of examples as well of what it is doing. It's kind of cool.
Roger. Yeah, they're talking about, we've got some buffering going on. I've got the feed over here on this monitor watching it, and I'm not seeing the buffering.
I've seen it, Josh, and I'm watching the live feed as well, yeah.
Everybody keep in mind we have ridiculous StreamYard bugs right now. I want my money back for this month, I can tell you that, with as bad as
EV Mux for the win.
I'm considering it.
But you know what? I got to say something. Marvin was talking about embracing everything, and he threw all these different things out that we got to embrace. Does that mean Winter Field Day is going to embrace FT8?
Yes.
Yep, there's a no. I can read lips. We don't have to unmute him. But hey,
Really, Dave?
hey, we got some business to take care of. You know what that means? Play that clip.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live.
Pepe HB9 EVT with the 5 Swiss francs, which is $7.30. Thank you for the translation. I didn't have to Google it. Today's show is sponsored by Pepe, a natural intelligence. I would say so. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat, Pepe. You have made the board for the month so far. So that's great. But yeah, folks, we are dealing with technical issues with StreamYard tonight. So bear with us. It's not us. It's not Marvin. It's StreamYard. And that's evidence with World Radio League and a few other streams that use StreamYard. All right. So yeah, interesting stuff there. Looking through the chat to see if
I do have it back up on my side now.
Have what back up?
The Ham GPT app we can talk about.
Okay, we'll get there in a second. Let me grab the chat here. The D Sorrell says Claude for the win for code. Absolutely. Go ahead.
I have to agree with him on that. I think for coding right now, Claude seems to be the best. But I have not played with that one that Gene plays with, DeepSeek, because he's got it set up at his house. I'm hearing that's pretty good, but that is a true Chinese AI.
I can tell you this. Everybody knows it's no secret. I work for the University of Tennessee, and that is banned. It is not allowed to be used by anybody for any purpose. And
is it really?
Yeah. we got a nasty email about that about 2 years ago, I guess. So I've never messed with it. Rob says the only thing he uses of Microsoft outside of the OS is Copilot. I think Copilot's good for navigating your email and things like that, but I don't see much more beyond that. Dave said a minute ago, when it comes to my videos, I'm still learning this editing. Let's see here. Colin in VK, good evening, Colin, or good morning, I guess, in your neck of the woods. Grok AI is pretty bad at customer service for Starlink. I guess, is that a thing? I've never heard that before, but it wouldn't surprise me that Elon's using Grok for his customer service.
Well,
that's hilarious.
In my hillbilly opinion, Grok to me is the worst one of the bunch.
Yeah, and that was the next comment I was going to right there. So interesting. I'll have to do a little research on that. Let's see here. Dave is still using Wondershare Filmora. I believe it. At least he's not using Windows Movie Maker. So anyway,
oh,
all
that's
right.
horrible.
Let's move on over back to Marvin. You got something to share with us there.
Yeah, I just gotta be patient as we got these. Have to mute and unmute and all that. So I want to add this to the stage here. So let's go. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger here. Zoom in. Helps you get in there, right?
All right.
There we go. So hopefully everybody can kind of see that now. So we're going to type in so this is hamgpt.com, and I've kind of created my account, and we'll see what is the propagation today. So we're going to go and see what it says. So it says right now the 80 meter through 40 meter group is your best fare, which we probably usually know, but 3020 is also open. Band noise S2 to S3. So busiest from your QTH, 20 meters and 6 meters. FT4 and FT8 is reaching the U.S. Northeast. So kind of cool. Let's see. Why is the 891 let's see. Let's go Yaesu FT 891 a great POTA radio. Let's see what it says. Just no POTA activations heard within 500 miles. Well, see, it's not good. Again, I'm throwing some real questions out there.
That's hilarious.
Are there any repeaters near my location? Again, I'm I'm completely pulling these up because I have not seen this otherwise. I mean, I've played with it, but not that much, to be honest. So, so it gives me some. Let's see. Oddly enough, it does not even show my local repeater on me, and I'm not sure where. It just gives me call signs, and I'm not sure exactly where some of those are at. So, it's interesting. Anybody have any other questions in the chat? Don't ask it. Let's see here. Which TRX is best suited for SOTA? There we go. All right. Let's see what it knows about that. What's thinking. For SOTA, the AC891. So popular, beautiful choice. The powerhouse, ultra lightweight, dedicated QRPs like Elecraft K2, K3, the ICOM 705. Give you some pros and cons, key considerations, some weight, some battery antenna options. So, get some basic stuff. I mean, you can, maybe even. So here, okay, this is Wabasha Red Wing. So there's some repeaters. It kind of does have that listed in there. So, which is actually that's, I guess that is right, but it shows you the TX, not the receive, which is, oh, it's up there. Okay. But then actually look at this. You can actually export it for chirp too. So, which is kind of cool. So, anyway, it's just something cool. It's for Ham GPT. It can okay, I want to, gosh dang, I can't type. Want to set up my ICOM 705 for JS8 call. How do I do that? Let's see what it says here.
Quick question, Marvin.
Yeah.
Do you know what large language model they're using for this?
I do not. I don't know what the back end of this is at all. So I don't know if they, and I from my reading about it the other day was that it was very ham radio centric in terms of ham radio questions and answers and that sort of thing. So, that's kind of what I gathered from it, but I don't know what they're using for their back end on this at all. So, but I mean, it does give you the physical connection, it gives you some menu settings and tells you what you need to go into to do that. I haven't verified that. Again, I literally made that question up out of the blue just now. Gives you some JS8 configurations, your tuning and operation modes. Gives you the right frequencies, at least. I know that. So, transmit levels, yep. You got to watch the ALC meter, USB mode level. So, yeah, I mean, kind of cool. So, I mean, it's interesting stuff. I mean, a lot of good, again, for someone that says, hey, I don't have nobody around me to really help. And as Levi put it, he goes, that's been kind of my humor. I don't know how to set something up. Can I use ChatGPT to help, give me some of those information, some of those answers that I don't have otherwise. So, I think this is very interesting and useful. And I sometimes I will use it more almost like a Google than I will using Google itself for some information, because it will give me a more detailed answer on some things, what I'm looking for. Especially if I'm trying to troubleshoot something. Like I had my firewall the other day. I was trying to set up a port 4 just to remote into an old server. And it's like, well, how do I go about doing that? And it was, I was trying to use Google for some of that stuff. And I probably should have switched over to, maybe like ChatGPT for something along those lines. I never thought of it at the time, but, now looking back on that, it may have given me better information than what I was getting from the, from the Google search itself. So, anything goes. But I do like it. And I, for programs like Ether SDR, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. I'll just give me
Colin said, you do have to sign up for an account with HamGP.
I do, but I mean, no different than Chat GPT or whatever either. So,
All I do want to ask this. Pepe says he gets the impression that HamGPT doesn't provide any better answers other than answers than any other AI system. Marvin, have you found any glaring difference between HamGPT and like a ChatGPT or something like that?
I think it's probably very similar, but I just thought it's kind of cool called HamGPT, and for people who want to go out and try and reach it. And again, it's from what I was reading and gathering on it that it was supposed to be more ham radio centric, so it might be a little bit more accurate in some of the stuff depending on where it's getting its information from. Again, Dave, I don't know that answer, so it's hard to say, but I don't disagree with Pepe on that you can probably get very good answers from Claude or Grok as well, or Chat, on that. But here's a really cool program that's been written. This is called Ether SDR. A lot of this is written in, it's open source. A lot of people are contributing to this, but it's got a lot of cool features. And this is the my Flex radio, and it connects right to it right away. But it's got some great meters in here, and it's really got I think a really cool look about it. And they've got additional, I'll call it plugins that you can use, that you can add into this. I have not gotten that far with it yet, but I have been using this a little bit here and there. And go to like their, they got Ether Control.
Does this just use codecs?
It does use a codec, yeah. But they've got like this Ether Control knob you can use built into it. You can still get all your network information and see your latency and your audio timing and total streams. I mean, just stuff that if you go use the Windows SDR from Flex, you do not get this type of information, I promise you. So, you can just look at those big gaps and see those things, your packet loss and that sort of thing. It's just incredible. So see where your audio is going, your milliseconds on it, your buffering time. So really impressive stuff going across this program. And I don't even have the latest updated right now on this yet. There's a version 27 out now. I've not updated to. So, but that was all. I don't say it was all written via AI. I think there's some obviously human input, but there was AI also used to create this. So you can go check them out. They're good for. I think they've got Flex, and I believe it's Elecraft for radios, but I'll double check on that one. I don't remember. So anyway, that's all I've got on that one in the moment.
Interesting. I'm going to need to go in and play with it. Because frankly, I do ask ChatGPT a lot of questions that are ham radio related and things that I don't know, and it gets me through. So I don't know if there's something that is built. That's a great idea, actually. An AI chatbot for ham radio, but also it learns from people, like personal experience on different things. That's what an Elmer. That's how AI could become an Elmer, if you ask me.
Well, Colin,
that's actually a good idea.
Colin on the HamGPT said that it's using GPT for AI API backend. So, and I thought looking at it, it kind of looked like ChatGPT. But he said the large language model is ChatGPT.
Quite interesting. Yeah, Colin there, the back end of HamGPT acts as a specialized data integration layer that bridges the user station profile and live amateur radio databases with ChatGPT, GPT-4 API. So, yeah, it's fantastic. I know I use AI a lot with work. Adobe has its own AI called Firefly, and well, that was a nice drag there, Michael.
Sorry.
It does a fine job, and I've watched Adobe build that AI over the past, I've been going to Adobe Max for 3 years now, So over the past 3 years, and it's come a long way. Yep. David's in there saying, yo, we're getting ready to go to Adobe Max again in November, so that'd be fun. And I'm looking forward to see what all they're going to bring out. But anyway, yeah, this is interesting. And even thinking about it even further is, I use RT Systems a lot. Not a sponsor, but if you want to sponsor me, call me RT Systems. I wonder if you could get AI to spit you out a code plug built for RT System software. And when I say code plug, I don't necessarily mean the DMR code plug. I mean like a frequency list with everything in the table formatted that it needs to be for RT System software.
I've played with that. I don't know that I'd trust it. And with RT Systems, I mean, it'll pretty much build your code plug for you.
And it's a CSV anyways.
That is true, and that would make it easier to do that. Go ahead, Marvin.
So if you go back into the KM4 ACK videos prior to Hamcation, I believe, he used AI to help create a path from his house in Tennessee to Orlando with repeaters and information and everything in between for programming. And I believe it did spit out a file for the chirp. Maybe not for RT Systems, but I'll go back and see if I can find that link real quick as well. But
RT Systems is not that difficult. It's a CSV. So I mean, you can open it and go and pop it in.
Right.
Don't ask me to do that again, though.
You just got to make sure you have all of those columns in the right order, I guess, mostly, for the most part for them.
Like I said, I tested a little bit, and I didn't like the way it spit the file out. I had to do too much work for it, even for Chirp.
Well, Chirp is stupid.
So while Josh is rearranging his headgear.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was talking with with it on mute. The jury is still out for me on Chirp. I've used it, and the first few times I used it, I hated it. But now it's growing on me a little bit because they do have the repeater book integration for it. But again, anytime I've tried to program anything with an RT Systems product, it's flawless. Like, it doesn't give me any trouble whatsoever. So I don't know.
Yeah, I input from repeater book. I haven't reorganized it yet, but my FTM 500, I was just getting frustrated, and because I still had all the East Coast frequencies in there, so I said, screw it. I dumped everything. I have RT Systems on my my little Panasonic Tough book. I imported every single repeater, VHF, UHF, right into my FTM 500. Boom, done. And it put it. Now I've got to separate it by counties. I'll do that on my own, but I have every repeater in the state of Arizona in my freaking radio. And RT Systems is pretty flawless as long as you get it. You have everything set up right.
Oh, it did. For my radios, that's about all I use. But there are some radios out there that Chirp supports. RT Systems does not.
I'll show you a radio right now that Chirp doesn't support. So this is a Bofang. This is the UV32, not the DMR version, but the standard UV32. Chirp does not support this radio, even though it's a Bofang.
That's funny because I see it in Chirp Next. I can pull that analog UV32 up.
Well,
In
I've
Chirp
tried
Next.
to program it with Chirp, and you and I can unmute, dude. But the DMR version, Chirp doesn't like it either. I don't know what it is. So I went to the Bofang website, got their software, and it works fine. So
real quick, I know we may have an echo. I don't know. We'll see. Yep, there it is. So I posted the video for KM4ACK. I stopped programming my ham radio. Chat GPT does it better in the link here in the chat. So that's something he was using to be able to program his radio. And it says talking about planning a road trip with 2-meter repeaters on a step-by-step guide to demonstrate how powerful AI can be for amateur radio operators. So again, a lot of different YouTubers and other people are using this and trying to make a tool out of it, and it is I love it. I really enjoy it myself, to be honest.
My question, and this is more fun than anything, but my question is, can you ask these AI bots how to design a flawless antenna that will talk all over the world with no effort?
there is no such thing as a flawless antenna.
And AI designing an antenna, we did that on the Drag Chew Crew live one night, and putting the exact same.
Sorry, I don't mean
link.
I don't mean to interrupt, but that made me laugh. Ham KJ5, yes, it's a hex beam.
That's hilarious.
It's the Buddy Hex.
But yeah, we actually did that, designing antennas with AI and putting the exact same commands, and we did it in ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Gemini. Every one of them came up even when we modeled them, came up with a completely different model for the antennas. ChatGPT, when I ran it in ChatGPT, the exact antenna that they were doing in the other ones, it gave me a true cloud burner. I mean, it was going to be a killer cloud burner because it was going straight up in the modeling.
You got to burn
So,
those
no, I
pesky
don't-
clouds.
I don't think AI will do good at modeling an antenna, Josh.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
what do we? That's what we've got to learn is how far, how much is too much. Like, what is its limits? Where is that line in the sand that AI can't help us?
Well, I think that continues to change and evolve. I mean, if you look at what AI was probably, let's say 2 years ago, it barely knew a name or anything else. It didn't have a lot of data, a lot of information out there on it. It was very limited, and it would come back with a lot of mistakes, a lot of bad info, wrong info across the board. Just it was terrible. But you go back and input some of the data today, and it has greatly improved. It has made it much better. You can get a lot more accurate information. Didn't say it's perfect yet, but it's a lot more accurate than it was, let's say, 2 years ago. So as the different Chat GPT 4, 5, 6, whatever, Grok version 1, 2, 3, 4 continue to get better, more information has been put into it, and it is able to pull some of this information. It's hopefully will improve. I was listening to a conversation the other day though, and it was I want to say it was Elon talking about it or somebody else. I don't remember where I was pulling. It had to be, I think it was on Fox News of some sort, but they're saying AI, AI is just a kind of it's a shiny new object thing, but it won't last. So, but I think it will stick around. I don't, again, I think it's probably here to stay. It just, we have to, again, I think we have to know how to measure that and control it. But, I don't think it's going to go away, anytime soon across our interfaces. But, even someone from an IT perspective, stepping outside of ham radio from it. If you're a coder, yeah, like you can do a lot of coding with Grok or Claude, and some of those are much, great. And they can, take away a coder's job almost. A lot of people thought this is going to take away my job. I'm going to lose my job over this and whole 9 yards. But I think as a coder, you say, okay, I'm having a hard time trying to figure this out. Maybe I can use this as a tool to help me do a better code or figure something out to maybe make some small changes that I've been making, that it will help you save efficiency and some time versus spending days or weeks having to try and do the same thing. So that's my 2 cents.
Colin says Tortoise should try the UV17 Pro GPS and chirp. I think he said he said UV32 model, and that's what people have had success with.
Dude, I've got this thing. I got this one, which is the the light green, and then I got the dark green, which is the DMR version. And you know what? I'm not really happy with this. They're both UV32s.
He's saying pick the UV17 as the radio.
Oh, okay.
To program it with, is what Colin's saying.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll do that. I think this is the non-DMR version. The DM32, I think it is. There's the DM32 and the UV32. I'm using the redneck tool.
He also says, or UV17 Pro if no GPS.
Yeah, because I wanted to do a little APRS beacon. I wanted to play with it a little bit, and yeah, this thing's stupid. Either that or I'm just too stupid, and I work in radios commercially, so, there's that. Hold on, I got a knife next to my neck. Don't say anything funny.
Shenanigans.
Yes, that was funny. There it goes. So, yeah, this is the... Oh, no, this is the DM32. So this is the DMR version. Yeah, this is the DM32.
It looks
so
like
then, the UV32 would not work on that one.
That model looks like a Motorola.
It does, kind of.
It really does.
That's that the 32s they look identical to Motorola.
Trying to be a cheap knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got, Marvin? As far as AI goes.
Well, that's why I was trying to go back and find that article real quick on this, and I was just browsing on that just a moment ago. But I want to say Etherham did one that was really very interesting, and I cannot find the other article that I had earlier this week. I spent too much time to try to build a HamShack app versus prepare for the show here this week. So a lousy excuse maybe, but just the reality of it overall. So, I don't know. It's I'm kind of curious, if the the people in chat, if let's do a quick poll, Josh. So let's do a poll for how much people how do I phrase this? I guess we could do there's two polls. One, are you for having AI in amateur radio, or you're not for having amateur radio, having a poll in amateur radio, or having AI in amateur radio? So it's a yes or a no question. I'm kind of curious what the overall answer for that is, and just do maybe answer with a Y or no, a Y or N. And then I've got the other one here. I'll kind of put together for a second here. Find that article real quick in the meantime while we're looking at that poll. Did maybe Josh disappear, or he just
he said he'd be right back.
Oh, by the time I said that, okay. So when he comes back, we'll do that because I don't know if I can go in his back end and widgets. New poll. There we go. All right. Option 1, yes. Option 2, no. So, sorry guys, we're going to be on mute. It makes it a little more difficult tonight. It is just, it is unfortunate, but all right. I'm going to start this. So type, you can do type a 1 or 2 in the chat, a 1 for yes or 2 for no. If you think AI should be used in amateur radio. So probably should start off with this just to kind of see where things are at. But I really am curious to see what people's thoughts on this are, and where the where the crew comes back overall. So maybe that was not an option. So
no, but that's my answer because that's how I'm feeling about AI right now.
I mean, Dave. I mean, so you. I'm gonna. Are you worried because of your job, or just because of of what are your concerns around that? I guess I'm really curious to see how what your thought on that is.
I'm not concerned for my job specifically. I already do see it cutting entry-level programmers. That's happened across the fan companies already. But the thing that concerns me is all the tests, even over in Europe, a third-party tester doing the test, even though the AI company said, well, they didn't put the guardrails up. No, they did the testing right. Have it set to where there could possibly be an escape on it, and just give it the normal commands. And both Anthropic, ChatGPT, and now Meta have had their AI models break out and hack. I can't remember if it was Anthropic's or ChatGPT, but one of them over in Europe started pretending to be people to hack into their accounts. So yes, the what AI is turning into is what is concerning me. There needs to be more guardrails on it, and there's not.
So yes, it is. I do agree. It does have more guardrails around it. It is not regulated much at all. It is pretty wide open. But our president here does support it too. So, he's definitely embracing it and say it has a place, and but I'm going to go from the small town world of Wisconsin where, I seen driving around, even through parts of Michigan last week when I was traveling was, big circle, with a red line through it, said no data centers, vote no for data centers. And so, a lot of people don't want them in the neighborhood, and, that's what, you need to be able to, to run those server farms. But at the same time, I don't want them in backdoor rural America, at my back door either. So, yeah.
You don't want data centers. Get rid of your phones. Now, I do agree that data centers, the average Joe should not be paying for the data centers. That I agree with. Our electricity bills should not be going up because of them. We've got one that is trying to go in here in Missouri. They were going to drill their water table, their wells, 200 feet below everybody else's well. Well, there's only one reason why you're doing that, because you're going to drop that water table that far because of the amount of water you're using.
And that's the big problem they have here in Casa Grande.
For the people in that area to be able to drill that extra 200 feet, they're not going to have that money to drill that extra 200 feet. So yes, those things I agree with. That needs to be controlled. But if you're going to say get rid of data centers, everybody throw these in the trash.
Tell us how you really feel, Dave. No, in all reality, this is one of those topics that's really, really hot politically right now. I mean, fire hot. It's the data centers and the flock cameras. And I don't want to go political tonight, but by God, that is what everything is about. Data centers and flock cameras.
Well, the reason I say this, throw this in the trash. Everybody's blaming it on the AI for the data centers. The reason I say this is actually the most powerful computer there is. There is no other computer that is as powerful as one of these for the size of the chip and everything it is. This is everybody's life, most people. You cannot see them walking around, not staring at this screen, walking down the street, walking in front of cars. So if you want to get rid of data centers, get rid of these, go back to the old flip phones.
Hey, so
funny
we
you
have.
mentioned- oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, sorry, Mark. We have two things going on. Can you get this pole off my face? Okay, so we've got two things going on here in Pinal County and Arizona exclusively. Casa Grande is fighting a data center coming in because we are at the bottom of the list for this new government water share program bullshit that they have. Are we past the second hour? Yes, we are. And it's really, really pissing me off. The second thing is Sheriff Peoples. I know he doesn't watch this, but I would kiss this silly SOB right now because he is not renewing the flock cameras contract in Pinal County. I don't know when the contract expires, but he is not renewing it, and he said he wasn't. So what they need to do is that I want to see trucks out here. I know where a lot of the flock cameras are. I see them. I'd love to have them out here with a truck to pick up their crap because I guarantee once that thing expires, it's gone. They're all gone. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, Josh, is that poll actually updating? Because all I see is a one on there still, and then there's no no's or anything at all. So I'm not seeing anything from my side, but that just I wasn't sure.
I'm not convinced that it's updating because I'm looking here and it says only 7 people have responded, and I've seen more than 7-1. Well, maybe not. I don't know, but we do know we have StreamYard issues tonight, folks, so that could be part of it. But anyway, do you want to go ahead and let it stay, or you want to go ahead and close it, Marvin?
Oh, we can close it. Like I say, it looks like overwhelming yes. That
I only see six votes, but yeah, it was all 6 ones.
So
absolutely. You want to introduce the second question you've written there?
Yep. So my other one is, do you think AI will change amateur radio over the next 5 years? So again, we'll kind of a 1, 2, or 3 there, and thank you, Josh. I'm kind of curious what your answers are there as well. So. And where people are going to go. So, let's see where this takes us. So it's kind of interesting, but I think there is a lot of change that will happen with AI in the next 5 years for amateur radio. I mean, for everything across the board, but I think it will have a pretty good impact in some ways. So, yeah, somewhat for sure is what's kind of leading there in the early polls here. So, thank you guys for coming back in. Again, it could be last one could have been a StreamYard issue or whatever else. We're obviously seeing some more input this time, so thank you for that as well. Josh, I can put it back to you for a minute.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching these responses. It's quite interesting. We've had so far gotten 5 responses so far. Everybody type in again the chat, 1 for absolutely, 2 for somewhat, 3 for very little, and only type the number. Don't type anything else, otherwise it may not record your response. So, kind of curious to see what you think there. I don't want to cover up my panelists, so I'm just the talking Dayton Hamvention shit here.
Real quick, is talking about something coming out, and you're talking about going back to the old flip phone, Dave or Michael. Samsung is coming out with a new flip phone. It's a smartphone, but it is come back with a foldable flip phone like the old style, where you open it top to bottom, side to side. So
Let me say, geez, that sounded funny. Let me say 3 things about these stupid flip phones that are coming out. One, the Pixel, the Pixel Fold. I've had 2 of them, and they both the screens just died. The Motorola, what was it? Come on, guys, in the chat, Motorola flip phone. That thing was phenomenal. And then they came out with a new generation.
The
which is just
Razor.
cool. Razor, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Excellent phone. And 3, anybody comes out with these new fandangled BS freaking foldy phones with the screen on the inside, they're not worth it. They look cool for like the first month, and you're back to using your screen. You're back to using your screen. Hey,
I would say there's some anomalies there because I know Jason has one of those, the Samsung Flex or Flip or whatever it's called, and he loves his. He uses it the whole time you're sitting there with him at the campground. He's got it folded open.
Yeah,
like a
but
book.
his screen's starting to mess up on his too.
Is it really?
yeah, they're horrible.
Well, the rumor is it's about time for the next Apple release.
Oh, God bless.
The big rumor is that Apple's getting ready to come out with one. And if there's one thing I can say about Apple, whether it's their computers, whether it's their standalone monitors, whether it's their phones or iPads, whatever, they have excellent screens. So I am interested to see what it looks like and if it's better quality.
The screen on the Samsung is an excellent screen. The problem is the folding is what causes the issue.
You're right.
And I don't care who does it. I don't care. Apple can make their $3,500 fold phone like Samsung's. The screen's going to do the same thing because it's the type of screens they have to use for that fold. After so many times, it just starts breaking down the elements inside it.
So, and we're going a little bit off the edge here, but thinking about it from a manufacturing perspective and an engineering perspective, granted, you've got a continuous screen all the way across, but if you could accomplish almost the same thing if you just turned this into a book and had a separated screen on both sides. Just saying. I mean, you could even almost make it look like one screen if the bezel was thin enough.
Oh, I agree, Josh, but people aren't going to want that. They want that solid screen.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But you see what Chris said? Can we talk about the new Flex Color?
Flex Killer by Radiography.
Yeah, it's that new SDR with 100.
It's actually Zygu. Radiography is the retailer for them. It's actually the new Zygu 7250.
Zygu 7250. I have not heard of this.
So while you're pulling that up, I'm going to just do this quick poll and we'll hide that now. But
there is something else I want to talk about. So don't let me forget. Icon.
Oh yeah. So it looks like somewhat people believe amateur radio will change over the next 5 years, which is I believe that it definitely will have an impact of some sort. So we'll continue to see how much it grows and changes over the time. So that's all I got pretty much on AI. Again, just kind of the positive negatives on it, but really curious where people think it really starts and goes, and how much it has for room in our opinion. So it's good. I think it was a good topic, and I really think it's quite interesting on people's opinions on it, because it seems like it's kind of a it's either you are or you aren't. But I mean, the last poll said somewhat. People think there is some room in there for it. So it is good to see that people are have some open mindedness about it, and we'll see where that goes. So thanks for kind of the topic tonight and going through that. Again, I kind of came up with that this week as we were kind of writing the HamShack app a little bit and having to use some AI to help fix some issues and some things along the lines here and there. So that's kind of where that came from and where it's at. So this we can kind of switch modes here now, and we're getting in the second hour, past the second hour. But yeah, this radio is quite interesting. The other thing was I want to talk about FCC highlight today. Me and Dave were talking about at the very beginning here. It's kind of interesting. So
Yeah, and there's an SEC topic that I want to talk about as well. So I'm glad we're getting into this. Let's talk about this radio because this is the first. You're getting my first reactions to this. This is very interesting. It's very, very flex-like. I can say that just by looking at it here.
And how much is it?
Rob in the chat saying $1,200, but I'm not seeing a price yet.
There is not a price on it yet. Everybody's speculating because they're figuring the price of the G90, the 6200, and putting this somewhere around the $1,200. Some people were predicting $1,500. I think Zygu's going to come in somewhere in between 11 and 1,200.
Key features: 100 watts of desktop power, innovative split design, SDR architecture, 7-inch touch and physical control, so we know it's a touchscreen. Network-based streaming, lightning fast built-in ATU, voice recorder, and CW. Take a look at the back of this thing. Okay, so we got two SO239s back there. We've got your ALC. You got your ALC. Look at that. Pre-wired with Anderson power poles.
Hell yeah.
That's nice.
So Temporary Offline did a quick review on this already. So it's got instant power poles. It's got the ICOM type or style of connector on there, but it's got a I'll call it a 15 pin VGA, but it's not really. He says it's not really the VGA to connect to the screen itself. But this is kind of the Flex Maestro per se. That they, the desktop version of the Flex will produce for portable operational use. But like they've got a power button, is that red button on the corner, but it says power up here in the top right knob as well. There's a few quirks that some people pointed out about it in Temporary Offline's channel about this, but but
even he said on the power, we don't know if that's a power button or if it's just a power line.
100 watts change, you don't know what you're really changing there exactly. So, but I mean, we'll see. I think it's very cool nonetheless. It is a neat, interesting idea to see where it comes out at. So,
is this this is definitely not released yet? Do we have a release date of it?
I've not heard anything.
They're saying September.
September. Tokyo. I bet you they're going to release it in time for Tokyo. Well, no, Tokyo's the week after Huntsville, so it's this month.
And Zygu just releases when they want to release.
Yeah. Well, this will be interesting. There's a reason that they're calling this a flex killer, because I mean, if you're talking about this something like this below $2,000, yeah, that's going to whip Flex's ass all day long. So
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. It will not whip Flex's butt across the board on this. The receive capability and some of the noise tools are that within Flex and the way they built their infrastructure. This will not be a Flex killer. Not in one moment. There's no way they even came close to what Flex has built this and how they've built their radios. So I would not be 1 minute worried about that. I mean, yeah, if people want a cheap way to do remote HF, absolutely. That's a killer from that standpoint, because it'll be cheaper than even the ICOM, somebody 300 Mark II. But this will not be a killer for Flex. No way.
I guess the terminal, I guess my comment was wrong, because I mean, definitely not in the feature and a capability realm as a killer, but as far as price and wanting that remote capability, like you said, Marvin, I absolutely think that they will sell a hell of a lot more of these than than Flex sells of anything, if you ask me.
I will say that Flex killed themselves when they went to their subscription-based firmware model. Is this going to be is this going to be a Flex killer, as you say, a Flex killer? No. But I've been also hearing since they've talked about this, everybody, well, it's a Chinese radio. It's a Chinese radio. It's made in China. Get rid of your Apple iPhones. Every one of them are made in China. I mean, so that I'm tired of hearing. I'm actually excited for this, for an SDR radio. Form factor, it might be something I might take to a podium where I'm going to go sit under a pavilion, because it doesn't look that big and that hard to carry around. I'm excited to see it. I've got the 6200. I've got the G106. I've got the G90. I've got to fix the G90. But are Zygoos the greatest radio in the world? No. But you know what? They figured the SDR and the screen out, because the 6200, I hear a lot of people going, I love the screen on that radio. I just hate the radio because it's made in China. Is there probably going to be beta firmware updates? Quite a few with Zygo. Yeah, they're kind of known for that. But I'm excited to see it. And it's going to give people a lower price SDR radio that you can actually connect to your network. I'm waiting to see now some of the stuff in those pictures. I don't know how well you're going to be able to take the head and go to a different room. So I'm waiting to see the actual release of it, to see if they've put a network port on the back of it.
Think about what you just said, Dave.
What?
Think about what you just said. Take the head and go into another room. I thought you were like going to take it to go pee or something.
Well, no, because the one of the things they talked about was networking the radio. But to be able to take it into another room, if it goes off of that 15-pin connector, what are you going to have to make a 50-foot to 100-foot 15-pin connector to connect to that? So we've got to see what's on what the connections are on the radio. But I am excited to see this radio.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how, like Ether SDR, a smart SDR for Flex that Marcus over in Germany produces, if they have software that you can use for remoting into it, and then how I mean, they say, yeah, you've got the Ethernet connection there, but how are they going to create that link for you to remote into it? I mean, what type of program are you going to use, and what programs are going to be available for it out there? So it's not so much maybe even just on the radio side, but what about the software side, how it's going to run remotely, if that's what the kind of the intention of that's going to be behind it. So it will be, and then you think about, I think with the network, you could just do things on your laptop. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, but then you got to be able to carry the audio across and things like that, be able to do PTT. So it'd be interesting to see how they make that work. So
in their notes, it does say that it's going to carry audio across the network, and you'll be able to remote that way. But until we get the radio, we'll need to see.
Right.
Sure.
And so speaking of new radios, let's shift gears a little bit. This was announced last week. Is it
tell me,
it
yes,
worth
the
that?
5200. You know what? If it does everything that it says it does, my FTM, I've said this before, my FTM 500 is being sold. I am buying that radio. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
$1,000 for VHF and UHF, though. Now, mind you, I know it's going to come with the APRS. I know it's going to have all those neat bells and whistles and buttons and confetti cannons and all that good stuff. But $1,000 for VHF, UHF. What do you think, Dave? Let's start with you.
Yeah, to me, for a dual band VHF, UHF, I don't care that it does APRS. That's just a little high for me. Just like there's people speculating that the Kenwood's going to be 12 to 1300, even though that's a tri-band, and I would pay more for that one. That's a little too high for me for a mobile UHF, VHF radio. And the thing is, I mean, everybody said, well, it's got APRS. Well, how many years did ICOM say we'll never put APRS on our radios because DPRS is superior? So do we know if the APRS is even going to work properly with ICOM?
That's a solid question. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
So you've got $1,000 into a VHF, UHF radio that is doing APRS. It may have Bluetooth. It got GPS. great. But like the FTM 400, as in 3WER Ham Radio Elmer said earlier, I still love my FTM 400. I'm 100% behind him on that. Mine does APRS. It does the AM, it does the, FM, UHF, VHF type stuff. Everything the system fusion I can do with it that I need to do. There's not a lot of D-Star in my regions. I know there's not some in the Tennessee area either. It's very limited, and especially around the Murfreesboro, Nashville area. So if you don't have D-Star in your area, then that's kind of really worthless anyway. So no point there. So I think they missed the mark here on creating a price point. Maybe I remember back in the days when if I get this right, the TMD 710 from Kenwood came out, had the APRS and whole 9 yards to it. I mean, that was like a $749 radio. I understand price of today's inflation versus what that radio was back in probably early 2000s. I get that, but I just don't see any maximum benefit for having a VHF, UHF radio worth $1,000 in my vehicle. I just don't understand the point of it and why I would want to do that. Why am I going to get more out of it than I get out of my radio currently? Okay, so maybe I can do a Bluetooth microphone now. I don't care. It's not a big deal to me. I can pick up the microphone just the same. I still got to store the microphone somewhere, that sort of thing. But you
don't have a cable all over the place.
Maybe, but I just don't know. I don't understand where you're going to get the full value out of this thing more than what you get with an FTM 400 or, maybe any other mobile, radio.
It's got a bigger screen. And what blew my mind is I was actually watching a guy reviewing it this afternoon at work, and yes, I was on YouTube at work, and it has the same touch functions that the 7300 does, so and the Mark II, and the interface you're not going to forget between your HF radio and between your mobile radio, which something that freaking Yaesu hasn't figured out yet. And when you could go from one platform to another, you got it. The interface, all the buttons, they're all in the same place. That's why I love this stupid radio, because it's the same across the platforms. The interface is the same. You're not trying to figure out a completely new radio, your FTM 300 to your FTM 500, your FTM 400. All three radios are different. And it pisses me off that they have to change that freaking. Why can't you just across the board make them almost all the same? Why?
Well, you know what ICOM stands for, right, Mike?
What's that?
I can't operate menus.
And on that note, let me point out that I have a new poll up as of right now.
Sorry, my eye itched.
It was a very simple question. Would you give $1,000 for a VHF radio with digital and APRS? 1 for yes, 2 for no in the chat, please.
Well, I will say ICOM and Kenwood both missed the boat on this again. Why is the mic still in the body?
Absolutely.
And at least
I didn't even notice that until you said that. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, the mic is still in the body.
Okay.
And at least Kenwood put a microphone on their head. There's only a connection that goes from the body to the head, just like the ID 5100. Yep, just like the ID 5100. Mic's in the body, no mic in the head.
Now, with that said, ICOM could do better than this. Why do we know this? Because we've seen the 7100. The mic connects to the head. Why they've not done that here is beyond me.
Right, but
well, my FTM, my 891 does. It doesn't connect to the head; it connects to the body.
Yeah, but that's a Yaesu. So real quick, I like what Brickhouse has said. Too expensive, get a 310 for half the price, same features. If they put single sideband in that for people doing linear sats, they would have killed it. Absolutely, 110%. If they made that and I remind me if you guys know, is this the dual VFO or a dual receive or VHF and UHF on both? I thought this one was, but so I mean you can still use it for satellites, but it is not single sideband for anything other than that for any type of linear work. So I think they missed the mark on this, and it's for that price, it's way out of the market.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But like you said, Marvin, I could use my 400 for satellites. It's true full duplex.
Yep.
And for the same thing that they say on Shark Tank, and for that reason, I'm out.
That took me just a half a second, but yes. Yes. I mean, let's just think about this for a minute, though. This particular radio, and I'm not trying to unsell you, Michael, but this particular radio is only going to be what, $300-$400 cheaper than a 7300 Mark II.
No, 7300 Mark II is $1,500.
Okay, maybe $500 then.
What's that?
Okay, maybe $500 then if that's the case. But
yeah,
still, I just don't know if I see the value here. I don't. And Ray Novak, if you're watching, I'm not knocking this. I just don't know if the price point's right for it.
Yeah, I agree with the price point being a little freaking high, but if it was 700-800 for that, yeah, I think I would jump on it faster. But $1,000, I'm gonna wait for the first person who's tired of it or doesn't like it, and I'm gonna snag it from them. just like my Mark II.
Bricker House says, so this goes back to Zygu. Japan manufacturers are very arrogant and need a slap in the face. I don't know if I go that far. When you don't have companies that don't want to innovate, you get what you have now.
It's a good point. Very good point.
And I like what no, wrong one. This one. I'll wait for the ICOM X and see if it has VHF and UHF in it. Absolutely. I mean, if you can get VHF and UHF in the X26, whatever that is, X26 coming out, and you got HF capabilities in there, and it's, let's say, $500 more at $1,500, then why not do that instead and save yourself this headache and just get your one radio that does it all?
Well, I and several other of my ham radio YouTube colleagues, we're convinced that the X026 is literally, it's going to be a replacement model for the 7100. That's what we're convinced of. Don't know it, haven't seen it for gospel sakes, but that's what we're, based off the form factor that we saw at Dayton, that's what we think we've got.
I'm with you on that one. I think it's going to be that and kind of maybe a cross of the 705 maybe potentially, but I mean obviously a little bit smaller, but yeah, more of the 7100 form factor for sure. So if it's got the VHF UHF in it, then I mean you run the 7100, Josh, in your truck, you run the UHF and VHF off of that. How does it work? I mean it's pretty flawless. It's great, isn't it, overall?
No problem.
Yeah. So I think that would, again, I'd like to see what sales are going to be on this and how well sales come out for this. If people really want to jump on this, and guys, I mean, okay, so let's add to this a little bit more. You have the ICOM 5200 here. Now we're waiting on the long awaited another ham radio deluxe product called the Kenwood, and that Kenwood mobile is supposed to come out, and it's been on the market for 2 years, showcased several times. And we still don't have a price on that. We don't have a release date on that. Nothing's there. But I think if Kenwood wants to be smart about this, that they come in and they price that thing just a little bit lower than what this is, call it $799, something along those lines. And it will take over this ICOM one for sure. Again, I just don't know any advantage over this. I think the other one has APRS in it, has Bluetooth in it, has GPS in it. That Kenwood's producing whenever it comes out. But again, the long-awaited, overdue product that should have been out probably over a year ago. And, other than they tell us it's parts and supply, demand for products, that's the reason for the delays, but we'll see.
Well, and I'm sitting here and looking, as I'm looking at this radio on the screen, I'm looking at it, thinking about the features it has. Okay. I'm also looking over here at my 5100 that's sitting, right here where y'all can't see where I'm pointing. And I'm like, okay, what is the difference between these two radios? Mind you, the age difference, obviously. But color screen, okay, we've got that. That's an upgrade. We've got the Bluetooth integration. That's an upgrade. We've got APRS. That's really about the only three things I see that stands out that are an upgrade over the 5100. Am I missing stuff? Anybody?
I thought Dave had something.
That was the weirdest transition.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool. You can see receive JA3 YUA. You kind of see who's on the screen using D-Star or something like that. But you know what? Yaesu's had that system, Fusion system, where if I put myself in digital mode on my repeater, I can pull it up and it shows, W0 MET, and then I'll come back if A4WX is on the other end. It'll show up his call sign and it shows that exactly. That information has been around a long time, so that's not really a new for me in that regards.
The 5100 does that.
The 5100 does the same thing for D-Star.
Yeah, it shows you who's calling.
See, I'm not familiar with I've never used D-Star in my life, but I don't own any. I don't only ICOM radio I own is a 705. But Rob says KB6 JFL full duplex, so which is good. But you're better off with 9,700 for Shack at this price. Absolutely, for that price, you might as well go with 9,700. Get your linear AM FM, or I'm sorry, AM FM, your VHF UHF, and single sideband. For sure. So
Chris says D-Star. Yeah, 5100 did have D-Star in it. Let's see here. Hamtel at Hertz says an APRS is not it at shipping. It's a firmware add-on. Free, but still an add-on. So APRS is not going to be available as soon as this comes out. It's an add-on.
Exactly. This is, I think, Colin hit that right on the head.
And the thing is, everybody slammed Yaesu for this. Is everybody going to slam ICOM? They told you, even though they said it's coming, but the biggest thing they've promoted on this has been they're bringing APRs in it. And then they're not going to bring it when they deliver it?
Scary territory. I stopped the poll here. 7 of you say no, you will not give $1,000 for this radio. 2 of you say yes, and we know who one of the yeses is. So, can't hide money. But I can hide that chat. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we're not going to see this at Huntsville. But it'll be interesting to see how this does at Tokyo Ham Fair, because I'm sure, I guess they'll probably release it in time for Tokyo Ham Fair. But, what's the next big one for the United States? Is there any big? No, it wouldn't be at Stone Mountain. Pacificon, maybe. Hamcation will be the first really, really monstrous one.
Right. The thing is, they'll do just like they did with the 7300. They say that it's going to ship in September, but that they say I think part of why they said that was because Kenwood at Hamvention did say that the 750 was shipping in November. Part of the reason why I think they pulled out of Hamcation, and I could never get a true confirmation on it, they had a firmware issue. They did not want to release it and go through the fiasco that Yaesu went through. But I think if it does release in September, like they say, I have a feeling you'll see it shipping November, December to the States.
I don't know, and it's not money for me, because I'm going to be selling radios to buy this one, and yeah, I truly love it because it's just a cross between the 7300 and this, and thank you ICOM, I can do menus, by the way, Dave. I just don't want to hunt through 3 layers of menus to get to something. I like how ICOM has it set up now, and it makes sense. It's fluid and it's cross compatible with the 7300 Mark II. I mean, you can go from one radio to the other and go, oh wow, look at that. The functions are almost the same. So it's not a KISS radio, But, you know, I don't have to hold 3 buttons and turn the damn power on to get to the maintenance menu, you know? Well, maybe I do, but that's how I feel about it.
This has been good. This has been a good temperature check on this particular radio. So we'll see as things move along whether or not this is a hit or not, or if prices may come down the road. We obviously know in the boneyards they'll be a lot cheaper than $1,000 at some point. But there is at least one more thing I want to talk about before we get off of here, and I think Marvin's got something else with the FCC.
And I've got something too.
What?
Some good news. Oh, well,
give us some good news.
Oh, okay. Because I was presented this, and somebody said, "Can you?" Let me make sure I get it right, because they're gonna yell at me if I don't. Next Wednesday is POTA Power's 2-year anniversary. It's all going to be on YouTube, and there's going to be a boatload of giveaways and fun QSOs. They're going to have a blast. They're going to be doing a POTA thing, but it's POTA Power's 2-year anniversary next Wednesday. So make sure y'all tune in and hop on. There's going to be some giveaways. I've been privileged and privy to some of the giveaways, and I tell you what, they're going to be some awesome giveaways. You guys need to tune
Tuesday.
in and check it out.
They're going to be on Clubhouse too Tuesday, aren't they?
I think so, maybe. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. I love POTA Power. They're great friends of this channel. They started about the same time I did. Really, really fantastic people. Looking forward to seeing them here in a couple of weeks. But yeah, y'all go check that out. I got an email today that caught my attention. Actually, I got it yesterday, and I've also shared it with Jason because it's a big topic that Jason's pretty intense on too. I'm sure he'll have a video on this soon.
Hey, Marvin, I think this is exactly what we were talking about.
What? Oh, maybe
North Georgia
GMRS. That is exactly what I want to talk about. And I'm going to share this article here. I do subscribe to
National Communications.
Yeah, NatCom magazine. So let me share the magazine. I'll let you hit the button, Marvin.
Oh, no, I was just going to say real quick is that if you guys haven't subscribed to National Communications magazine, it's a weekly newsletter that kind of comes out. They have a lot of good articles and information that comes through them every week. And I was what, $30 for the year, Josh?
I don't remember. Something like that.
Something like that. So
it was a little bit of nothing.
Yeah.
So I'll just read the article here.
Oh, okay. You have it a different way, but yeah, exactly.
I have it via email. A Georgia-based General Mobile Radio Service linked repeater system has been issued a notice of violation by the Federal Communications Commission and has 20 days to respond to the agency's allegations. This action is the first taken against linked GMRS repeaters remaining on the air. The action is likely to have repercussions across the GMRS community, especially those that still have linked systems online. Let's see here. Gary Beckstadt, Sr., whose GMRS call sign is WQYU407, lives in Noonan, Georgia, and based on online information has operated the North Georgia GMRS network since 2007 and as a nonprofit corporation since 2012. The FCC has issued its notice of violation to Beckstadt as the licensee of numerous linked repeaters in the North Georgia GMRS system because the organization is unable to hold GMRS licenses. Almost 2 years ago, the FCC modified its GMRS page on its website to make clear that that linked repeaters were not allowed under FCC's Part 95 rules for the radio service. At that time, the page included only this statement on linked repeaters, quote, "You cannot directly interconnect a GMRS station with the telephone network or any other network for the purpose of carrying GMRS communications. But these networks can be used for remote control of repeater stations. Side note, RF linking is okay to my knowledge. It's if you're using telephone or internet that you've got problems. Linked repeaters use internet or telephone links to connect multiple sites that all relay the same communications to much greater area than a single GMRS repeater. For instance, a linked repeater in Philadelphia could relay similar repeaters in New York and New Jersey, Maryland, and so forth. Some linked repeaters may even serve the same general area. This presents a problem, the FCC says, because it ties up the valuable 8 GMRS repeater frequency pairs from not only routine repeater operations, but only GMRS licensees and FRS users using the same frequencies for simplex or direct operations. Now, before I open the floor up on this one, here's the thing, and Jason's pointed this out in a lot of his videos. North Georgia GMRS, in full transparency, I was a member at one point when I first got my GMRS license because I didn't know. I was just trying to find some activity. But when you look at their network, I mean, what, 30, 40-something repeaters from Ocala, Florida, all the way up to my area. There's actually one of their repeaters is 5 miles as the crow flies that way on one of the mountains nearby. And the problem is their repeaters are on all different frequencies, all the repeater pairs. So there's no room for somebody to put up a new GMRS repeater because it's completely dominated from here to Central Florida. Who wants to pick this up? Go ahead.
And actually, I don't think they can link it RF either on GMRS. I know when that first came out, and see, they shut a club down up in New York, a huge club up in New York that was doing it. And that's when they came out with the radio type or the telephone type connections, but they were doing it with pies across the internet. I dropped a link to the actual FCC letter to GMRS in the chat. I'm honestly glad that they are doing something, but let's see if they actually do something, because it's not just repeaters. Repeaters share the same channels that GMRS is allocated. Yes, there are specific channels to use for repeaters, but you can use those channels on a handheld and a mobile as well. So they have tied all of those channels up to where 2 people can lock up the entire GMRS system in 3 states. I'm sorry. And then they're charging for it. Right off the bat, they're not allowed to charge for GMRS. That's supposed to be free. So, I mean, and it's not cheap. I mean, it's like $100 or $150 a year for one person. And then I think husband and wife, it goes up to 2 something. And then for a family, it's like $350 a year to use their repeaters.
Yep. So I think how they were positioning it from a business point of view, and mind you, you're not supposed to make businesses out of GMRS or ham radio or anything like that, but I think what they were justifying charging these people because you're joining a club, and that is dues. And all of these are closed repeaters. We all know how that works in the ham radio world. I don't know. I guess it's similar in the GMRS world, but I mean, frankly, the domination and the monopolization of the airwaves and all these repeater frequencies, that's a bigger problem. Marvin, what's your thoughts?
I think they've got their ass in some water right with this. I think which is finally due. It's long over, to be honest, and it's one of those things we've all known about for a long time, and it's actually. I'm a GMRS user myself. I've got a GMRS license. I'm not against GMRS because I'm a ham radio. I'm not trying to say that amateur radio is almighty here, because I think GMRS certainly has its place. But at the same time, as you said, it is a monopoly. They've got it locked down. It doesn't provide for a lot of other options for other people to be able to put stuff into the network. So I think from my standpoint, I guess what I'm getting at is I'd like finally see the FCC actually taking some action and doing something for something we've all known and talked about and asked about for a long time, and wondering why in the hell they haven't done something. And now it's kind of like now it's got the time. So I like how that article kind of said, because there was something with the current situation of the FCC, where they're at, it's a good time to be able to try and get this, pushed through and done. So I'm hoping that they can do the enforcement on this. And I'd like to see their response to this and what they have to, how they're going to try and defend it per se from their end. So.
Yeah, it's something I'm going to be following too. Like, this is a huge news story, huge, and it is going to have implications all across the board. I see y'all in the chat. I mean, the GMRS test is extremely difficult, and it's heavy in your wallet, and the FRS test is like even worse. So y'all save your money and be studying. But anyway, it's definitely going to be a story to watch and see how this plays out, because I can tell you this, they have an absolute fortune tied up in this stuff. And what are you going to do? Liquidate it? I mean, I'd be curious. Does it say, well, fines haven't been issued yet, right, Marvin?
No, and he's got 25 days to respond.
20 days to respond back to it. So it'll be interesting to see where they come up with on this. And like I said, they will. Like I said, they've got their stuff in a ringer for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how they can defend this.
Do we have any idea what do we have any idea what the maximum, or what the range of fines they may have? I mean, there's a lot of violations here. Okay, Gray Man, yeah, StreamYard's a piece of shit right now. I see you in the chat. It's not good. It's a bug that's been going on.
He had it last night on the kids' table.
No. It's all revolving around Marvin, sadly.
Right.
Not his doing, but it's revolving around him.
So they said September 25 and had multiple linked amateur radio repeaters, more than 130 members. The GMRS network currently has 640 licensed members. At its highest, the organization had 1,227 licensed members at the end of 2024. So it's like, I mean, it's huge. And, but I don't see anything about what the potential fines or thing could be on that. So, but I'm sure it could be up to tens and thousands of dollars potentially. And then is that against the club or, individuals, and where that pulls together? It's hard to say.
I'll tell you who it's actually, Adirondack has a great point. Isn't FCC able to fine up to $10,000 per day of violation? I believe that is 100% true, I believe. But, yeah, I mean, the violation, I mean, if you look into it at the very, very legal point of view, the violator is Gary Beckstedt, WQYU 407, so he is liable, not the organization.
He's a ham, too. He's not just GMRS.
That's true, which could have implications on his ham license.
Well, it said the notice was sent to Beckstedt's home, which also serves as the location of the business, Hobbit Communications.
Yeah, he sells. I've seen him at the Chattanooga Ham Fest and Huntsville, I think.
And it says Beckstedt is listed online as the co-founder and chief executive officer of NGG MRS, and his wife Diana is the secretary and chief financial officer. So
they make no bones about it that it's a business.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some interesting. I'm really liking the chat here. I love this discussion that's going on, because this, frankly, had I realized that this was going to be such a star topic, we would have gone into this a lot earlier, because we are coming up on, well, we are at the top of the hour again. Chris says per day maximum of up to $24,000 per day. Ham Till It Hurts said that he thought I saw $40,000 figure bounced around. Our buddy Tim over in Guam says they should absolutely bring the absolute hammer down. N3WER total cap up to a maximum of $182,000 for any single ongoing enforcement action. Well, that's the question. We're dealing with many frequencies. So how are they counting violations? You know, it could be crazy. Hillbilly Dave says, hit that like button. Absolutely, you should. He also has posted the FCC notice of violation there, so that's good.
Did you notice that Dave looks younger and more handsome in his little icon there?
Yeah, he changed that like weeks ago. You've been gone for a while.
No, I'm just saying. I was just mentioning that he looks so much younger and handsomer there. Love you too.
We need to throw him on a Harley. Storm Radio says, I'd like to hear things straighten up on HF with language and arguing. Aren't hams supposed to set an example? Well, we could go down a long rabbit trail with 7200. There's been some.
Let's not do that.
We don't have enough time tonight.
Yeah, there's been 7200 is a constant. It needs to be cleaned up, and you know, if I am seeing more activity out of the FCC when it comes to enforcement, I guess now it's a priority. Let's see here. That's pretty funny. Adirondack says JRL Token should sue too, blaspheming the name of the Hobbit. That's pretty funny. Morgan H says they won't find them if they drop the links.
That's true. If they take care of the violations, they respond and give them a legitimate time that they're going to take care of all the violations, they won't find them.
From the people that I know Gary, he's going to fight this, and taking down the links won't be an option. So we'll see. I don't know him personally, but that's from the people I know that know him.
I was shocked they let them, because they actually started growing bigger after the FCC shut that one down that was up in the New York area. And that was a huge club that had that one up there. Yeah. And then after they shut them down, it was like he thought he could just do whatever he wanted. And he started growing the North Georgia GMRS system.
Yeah. Let's see here. Mike says, try to collect, though. The FCC doesn't collect fines. You need to go to the DOJ after them. So let's talk about the legal system just so we have a clarity on this. If the FCC does issue any fines, they are civil fines, not criminal fines. So we're not talking jail time. But if there are things that they could do a criminal referral to the DOJ. That does happen. Will that happen here? Who knows? It's hard to say. Tim says, not for any other reason than a guy running it is a douche canoe. I've never heard of a douche canoe.
You've never heard of a douche canoe? I've called you a douche canoe before.
I've never heard that before. That's a new one on me. Let's see here. Gray Man says, Marvin, are you using the Roadcast Duo?
If I get my mouse moving quick enough, I use the Roadcaster Pro 2. So, but no, I don't know if the Duo was different than that. But unless he's referring to the Duo being 2, but
I didn't see you responding to him. Never mind.
Yep.
All right. Let's start winding this down. We're in the second hour here. Guys, the last call for Super Chats channel donations. All that is really going to help the Huntsville Hamfest travel and that kind of thing, but also the new app that Marvin and I are developing, the HamShack app, and also supporting the radio station, because none of this is free or cheap. We need all the help you can, so please give generously using the flashing dollar sign next to your chat box. Go ahead, Marvin.
Yeah, I'm going to just add on to that a little bit, and I know it may sound like we're making a beggar plea for some funding, but you know what it costs for the radio app. I mean, if anybody wants to know, it's $100 just for the developer app, or just for the developer permissions to get into the developer side for Apple. So it does cost money to make the app, even though we're offering it for free. It is nice. I mean, I know I support my full podcast pretty much on a 100% funding of my own stuff for my own equipment. Whether you're paying for StreamYard a year, you're paying for Ecamm, you're paying for Zoom licenses, all those things do cost money, and they do take money to be able to run these streams, to be able to provide this back to you guys. And we all probably incur that, whether it's Tortoise or Hillbilly Dave, Josh and myself, and then all the others. So, the support is not really coming into our pockets to be able to, fund us and make us rich. That is not the purpose behind any of that. It is to be able to offset some of the costs that it does take to operate these things. So we're looking forward to this app. I think it's going to be a really great idea. We're going to bring, several groups together, and we do appreciate it. And thank you, Mike, KU9DSK. I'll let you take care of the rest of that, Josh.
Take care of business. Right there it is. Hey, I'll click it. Mike.
And he's right. Go Droid.
It's coming. It's coming. Marvin and I promise you it will come. It's just going to we got to get to Apple mastered first. Play that clip.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live.
And that'll be enough of that. Appreciate that, Mike, and have fun in Huntsville. Wish I could make it go Droid. It's coming. Like we said, it is coming. That is certainly on our radar. If in full transparency, again, if you just joined the show, I know we've got 36 viewers now compared to the 20 that we had at the start of the show. If you're not familiar, I have created HamShack Radio. It is a 24/7 live streaming internet radio station, and we've got great simulcast partners with Ham Radio 2.0, Ham Radio Guy Podcast, which is that guy right there. We've got Andy Show, World Radio League Show. We've got Ham Radio Clubhouse. The list goes on and on. Really cool stuff. Developed a new HamShackTV website, HamShackTV.com. That guy, Marvin, has been developing the new HamShack app, which is going to be fantastic, and you'll be able to listen to the radio station on it. You can listen to it live now on HamShackTV.com. And then soon you'll be able to get the app. But I need beta testers. Marvin, talk about beta testing in a little bit and how they can get involved with beta testing.
Yeah, I want to see if somebody else wants to unmute too. Grayman thought maybe I was looping back through the mixer somehow with some other things. So we'll see if that
but
back.
Nope, there's the echo. At least I got it in my ears.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's not. I mean, everything is muted except my main microphone here. So I don't know. So anyway, back to your question, Josh. Beta testing right now, everything is put into what we consider a test flight. It is an app you can go download, and then a lot of other apps have come out through test flight as well. So there may be other options down the road for you to be able to use some of that on another app as well. But right now we're in test flight. Let Josh know, Josh at aa4wx.com and .com, right, Josh? Okay, he shakes his head yes. There you go. He puts it up on the screen. I just want to make sure it wasn't .org for some reason. But anyway, we'll send you an invite from, you send us an email saying, hey, I want to become a beta tester on that. We're looking for anywhere between 10 and 15. One of those things, like I kind of mentioned earlier, I think the propagation thing may not be accurate yet. I'm still trying to verify that a little bit. And so checking some of those things along the way. So looking 10 to 15 beta testers. We've had this out for about 2 days at this point. And, we're kind of make sure everything's going to work right. And people are going to try this on an iPhone 12 and on a 15 and 17, whatever. And maybe you have an iPhone 10 or something still. I don't know, running iOS 26, but that's kind of Apple's push. That's not our push. Some people are still using 18. Josh said he had a friend that was still running 18 and hadn't updated to it yet. We couldn't use that, but I think Apple's trying to get everybody over to that 26 model, version. That's kind of where we're at. And like I said, looking for a few more people just to make sure everything's cool. We're looking to see how many people can stream at once on the radio, on the online station as well, through the app, and how the buffering is. And if you're catching any of that, we've had 1 or 2 emails come back to us so far. Good reports, good information. Everything kind of works to stops. The other thing we had tested the other day, I was playing at work and listening to it in my ear, and my phone would go to sleep, and the phone would just quit. And it was like, it quits playing music. And then I was listening to it, and I was playing, and I thought, I'm going to swipe up and go check email real quick, and it would stop. So I think we fixed those issues. Those are good in the current release. But those things like that we want to be able to really verify and know. And it does take an input of, I can sit here and play on my phone all day long, but there's something you guys might do different than what I'm doing. And that's just part of beta testing and then putting it out there. And again, we want to produce that quality product of both iOS and Android. I can't do both at once. I just don't have the capacity. I still work full time, still have a channel on my own to run, on my own podcast, etc., to get out. So, and videos to do as well. So, everything I can do on my sideline, and we'll go from there. But it's been fun. It's been good. It's been a learning curve. I've had some steep learning curve with the last couple of days of doing this, but yeah, we'll definitely get the Apple or the Android beta testers out there too when that comes around. Once we get that app released on the Apple on the Android side, and I do anticipate that being probably going to be October at this point, maybe late September. We'll see how my schedule goes and a couple things along the way.
And if you have any app complaints, send complaints to k8mrd at icloud.com.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Yes. No, there's not. Close that out. I'm going to take away his fun buttons. Anyway, I do want to share this with you, too. If you want to hear what the radio station sounds like, it is running, and you can visit the new HamShack TV website, HamShackTV.com. It's right there. This is just a little banner up top, but right here is where the radio station is.
They'll come
just
back.
A second
They'll come to the
buffer,
folk,
and
they'll
then you'll start
see
hearing
the error of their ways.
So we simulcast, or not simulcast, we syndicate Jason, we syndicate World Radio League, Clubhouse. Yes, whoever thought that Clubhouse and HamShack TV would merge? That's crazy, but
that's crazy.
Really, really cool stuff. Go check it out, HamShackTV.com. If you can even open it up on your phone and play it off of your phone. It works just fine. So anyway, appreciate Marvin's work on all this. Let's get ready to wrap this thing up. Let's go to, we'll circle back to Marvin. Let's go Hillbilly Dave. What do you got coming up this week?
Well, hopefully the weather is good, but first, before I get into what I've got coming up, guys, you heard me joke with Marvin. I'm just giving him a hard time. He started with the Apple because that's what he knows. But guys, definitely pay attention because Josh will need Android testers, beta testers once they get that app coming. What I got coming up is I got the parts I need. I'm actually going to take my ATOS this weekend, put it on a tripod, and test it with radials to make sure I can actually get 40 to work with that antenna. It should have worked with the grounding straps I used. Couldn't get 40 to 10. Got a couple other antennas that I'm going to play with, and hopefully it don't rain this weekend. And if it doesn't rain, hopefully it don't wind up being 100+ degrees this weekend. But other than that, that's about all we got coming up right now because work's still keeping me plenty busy.
My heart bleeds for you, sir.
Hey, you're in a dry heat. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, okay. Dry heat with 60% humidity right now. So the temperature is 102 with 60% humidity right now because of the monsoons. So you can give me that bleeding heart violin.
I used to live out west. I know what it's like. It's still not the same as what it is out here.
Dude, swamp ass is a thing in Arizona, I'm telling you.
Speaking of bleeding, this guy's going to be bleeding after I'm done with him after this show. Tortoise, what do you got going?
What I do? What I do?
What haven't you done tonight?
Oh, you love me and you know it. Anyway, so hey, I'm back. I've been busy on Wednesdays. Work's been late, so and then Josh wants to go on a hiatus, and then all of a sudden we're back on the air. I'm like, oh come on. Anyway, so
it ain't like you didn't have warning. I said it'd be 2 weeks.
I know. I'm giving you a rash now. Anyways,
it ain't like I texted you this morning and said we're going back on the air tonight.
This is true. This is true. So we've got we've got Poto Power's 2-year anniversary next Wednesday. I'll probably try to participate that. We have Tortoise in the Hair Sunday 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't do it. 7 o'clock on Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Here we go. So yeah, we will have Tortoise in the Hair this weekend. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. And we'll be on 7 o'clock, 4 o'clock Mountain Standard or Arizona time. What else is going on this week? Not a whole heck of a lot. It's just been too hot to get up on the roof to run the antennas, but I did find something on my roof. I was driving by from a distance and I could look up because I live in this weird HOA thing, but there's a 900 megahertz panel antenna up there on the roof from an earlier internet sharing system. And yeah, I'm going to be using that mast for my VHF UHF antenna because, well, the antenna already existed, so I'm putting it up there, and I don't think I'll be able to see it from the street. HF antennas might go through this week. I do have some off-roading videos from last weekend, and we have some more this weekend. We've got some awesome nighttime riding. It's going to be fun. And I'm trying to get back into putting videos out. But, you know, it's just with my work schedule and trying to catch up to Tracy after work before she goes to work. It's hard and frustrating. But we're doing it, and we're just trucking this along. So, yeah, it's going to be just oh, and there's by the way, if you guys see Charlie, hold on a second. Let me do this real fast. Where's my OBS? Charlie has gone downhill in the last couple of weeks. I know everybody knows my dogs, and that's Charlie there. Charlie boy. He's got the glaucomas, and that actually hit him within the last 3 weeks. He got really bad. His ears he can hear, and he lost an extreme amount of weight. So I've been feeding him like the Dickens. But I think he's got a thyroid issue. So, you know, he's just still cooking along. He can't see very well now, and that literally within the last 3 weeks, it just went downhill like that. But he's a good boy, and he knows it's dinner time, so he's waiting for me patiently to feed him his canned food. But yeah, it's a shame. I've had him for over 10 years since he was a little puppy, and now he was a fat sausage, and now he's a little skinny boy. So, but he's doing really good. I just wanted to give a puppy update.
We can certainly relate. My Stormy, we've had her since me and my wife got together about 14 years ago, and you're seeing that decline very rapidly. She's not able to stand a lot of times. Like, her hips are really, really bothering her. We've been giving her some chews, and that's kind of relieving it a little bit, but I've come to the realization that time and that decision's going to be coming before too terribly long. So it's not fun. It's not fun.
Charlie, come here, Charlie.
Let's go up to Marvin. What about you? I need a podcast from you.
You do, yeah. Long behold, I can't imagine I was doing anything else this week. You know. So yeah, I've got one kind of, we're going to be working on one talking about internet radio linking Echolink All-Star nodes, putting that, setting that up, and pros and cons. That's what the next podcast is about. So it's funny that you're talking about the All-Star one coming out. Updated, using a little bit of ChatGPT again, updated the web page to a new format. You can go out to w0met.com. And you can see the new format there. In fact, I'll just share that screen real quick, just because it's really I'm pretty stoked about it overall. So that is the new web page there, and talk radio for hams by ham. That's my new slogan. And so you can start playing the episodes here. You can check some of the other prior episodes here. You can even see the full archive. And then even over here, I've got an affiliates page. And here you can see all the different cards with each brand and the code that goes with it. So using like Ham Radio Guy with Ham Radio Prep, World Radio League, that will work either one. So I do need to change that one up a little bit. ABR does not have the code on that one. I need to fix that one. So there's a few changes. There's still a few things I need to fix, but yeah, the webpage is pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about that. So that was good. Winter Field Day has officially got its design logo for the year. So new gear, a new store will be coming out by October 1st. And we're certainly excited about that. Winter Field Day rules, all that will be coming out by September 1st. We have some really cool things with special event stations this year. We're going to have slow scan television. We got our Winter Field Day bulletin. We're restructuring how the Winter Field Day bulletin's being played. So you're getting firsthand knowledge prior to even my podcast to have all this information out. So when I say I haven't got a podcast out, because between working on apps, a web page, and Winter Field Day this week, my schedule has been packed. So I apologize for that, and thank you for being patient with me through those processes. I know, consistency goes a long ways, and having regular episodes, and I try to do every 2 weeks and produce them out on a Monday. But folks, there's only so many hours in my day. So and they're usually long days as it is. By the time I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning and into bed by 10 or so, or shortly after, it does make for a short night. So, but yeah, that's all exciting stuff. I've got a big garage project this weekend I'm working on, trying to get ready for an HOA meeting and doing some things, changing around some things in my garage as well. So it'll be kind of fun to be doing. So looking forward to that. I want to say there was some type of contest or event coming up this weekend, and I do not recall what it was, or something coming up maybe into the month here. But anyway, that's all I've got. Yeah, I think it's been a great show. Thanks for the AI topic again. I thought that was very interesting. Thanks for the good engagement from everybody on that one, and really look forward to I won't be in Huntsville, but I know you guys know Josh will be, and we'll be definitely probably sitting here on our streams, me and Dave. And we'll be joining in. I know we'll be joining in otherwise with you at Huntsville, but we will not be there with you at Huntsville. So back to you, Josh.
Well, y'all know the banger shows that we have before these big ham fests. We had a hell of one in Florida. We had another big one in Dayton. This one's going to be just as good. There's a lot in the works for this particular one. Marvin kind of already knows. I talked to him on the phone about it earlier. So be looking forward to the Huntsville preview show here in a couple of weeks right before the show. I see Gray Mampota, and I want to... He even though we told him to send all complaints to k8mrd@icloud.com, Gray Mampota sends his complaint
Here
right
we go.
I am disappointed that you approached Clubhouse before the kids' table and Gray Mampota. Okay, fair point. I would,
Josh. He is kind of a regular on the stream.
Yeah,
and you didn't approach him.
I honestly didn't think about it. It just that
really,
it did not pop in my mind. I would love to have the kids' table on for programming. I'm really looking for shows that are greater than an hour. Now, the newscasts are a different story because they're natively short. But
real quick, how long is his clubhouse?
You mean the kids'
table?
Kids' table. Sorry, yes.
About 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, they're usually an hour on the same night as HRCC, except next week they might be going into HRCC's Ham Nation because they might be going along next week. But usually on the off weeks, yeah, they go anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours.
So, I mean, you're airing yours, Josh, at 2 hours. So it's going to play the first hour only.
Yeah.
Gray Man, I think, I know I'm doing a little bit on Josh's behalf here, but I think if you're willing to let us come in and play that on there, I think we'd certainly be willing to entertain that. So, and again, I think that's our apologies, not even thinking of you on there, being part of that. And it was just pure oversight more than anything and not thinking about that.
I will totally say that the reason I didn't think of it is I thought of Gray Man. Don't get me wrong, I thought of Gray Man Poda. But Gray Man Poda is normally shortish form content, less than an hour. Kids Table I didn't even think about. That is my bad, and I apologize. But yeah, let's get together. If you want me to do it, we'll start doing it immediately. I'll put it in the rotation. I've got one other show out there that I'm going to try to get syndication to, but I've got to have a talk with somebody at Huntsville. So that's that. Final thoughts from anybody? All right. Again, go check out HamShack Radio on HamShackTV.com. If you are an Apple user and want a beta test, send me a email at josh@a4wx.com or a Discord DM. And let's see here.
I got one thing.
What?
Raise hell, praise Dale.
Amen. Amen. So, yeah, we're looking forward to Huntsville. Stay tuned for more content. Again, tomorrow, you do not want to miss the episode coming out tomorrow. If you are into All-Star or even thinking about getting into All-Star, this is a game changer. It's going to make things simplified for you to get in it. I think you're going to like it. Tune in tomorrow. Show airs. I think it comes out at 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. Ham Radio 2.0 will be on there, as well as Freddie Mac, Ham Radio Crusader. Go subscribe to the Ham Radio Guy podcast, Tortoise Overland, the Hillbilly Dave show, or whatever it's called these days. I don't even know what it's tagged. I think it's just KE6GAE Hillbilly Ham, if I'm not mistaken. So go check it out. Subscribe, like, do all the things. Go check out Gigaparts, HamShack TV's your coupon code. Guys, we'll see you next week. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace. Love you.
Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? Yeah, I got to do it. Play a clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right,
73, everybody. HamShackTV.com. Listen to HamShack Radio in your car, in your office, in your shack, in bed. I don't care. Just listen to it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next week.